Yo, it's your boy Marcus, aka Just One Marcus on the Just One channel. The Blazers right now are a pretty good team. I wouldn't say they're at the point where they could compete for a championship, but I would say they're at the point where they could make a mid to deep playoff run. Right now, I'm pretty sure they're sixth in the West, and they're one game behind like two teams. They play OKC tonight, but that happens at 8 o'clock. I'm filming this before then, so I won't know the outcome of this game, but they should win. So they'll be like tied for the 4, 5, 6 seed in the West. And I think I'm gonna give this rebuild 2 years with Dame on the team before I try to make a move to maybe blow it up. I gave Nas Little a hip injury because that's what he has in real life, and I put the timeline that what's out that they say he's gonna be back. Same with Gary Payton. His is kind of different though. They say like 1 to 2 weeks from right now, but they also say like they're not really sure. So I just have him coming back around December 31st. For the whole league though, there's no injuries on because I feel like 2K's injury system is just very unrealistic the way they do stuff. So when I do rebuilds, I like to put the guys on my team that has injuries for whatever time it is, and then after their injuries are healed, just no one will have injuries. So here's what the lineup's gonna look like for the rest of the year. Well, probably for a little bit until Little and Gary Payton come back. I'm gonna give Keon Johnson some minutes, but once Gary Payton comes back, he's probably gonna lose his minutes to him. And then for Nazir Little, I'm debating taking out Trenton Watford out, or something else I might do is look to trade Winslow and then give Little those minutes, because I feel like I'd rather give him the time to progress than give Winslow those minutes because he's a little bit older than him. But yeah, let's sim for a bit here and see what happens once we get our injured guys back. So Gary Payton is back from injury. I'm just gonna swap his minutes out with Keon Johnson. Like I said, we won a couple games in that stretch there, but we're still gonna go till Little is healed, and then we'll probably see if we make that Winslow trade. Okay, now Nazir's fully healed, and we just had a stretch where we lost a couple games, so I am going to look for a oh whoops, I just kept simming. We lost like 1, 2, 3, 4 games in a row. So I'll go to this little 2-day break here and then look for a Justice Winslow trade because it's kind of more in the middle of January, closer to trade deadline. So the Denver Nuggets, Timberwolves, Pistons, and Pacers are all pretty bad defensive teams. Honestly, so are the Spurs and Thunder, but I don't think they would trade for Winslow. Maybe the Warriors would, and the Lakers, but I don't think they would trade within conferences because we're going to be competing. So I might look to see if I can make a trade with the Pistons or the Pacers to get a pick for Winslow. Winslow has A- perimeter defense, which is above position average, so I think that would be a realistic trade for one of those teams. So I'm going to try to trade the Pacers Justice Winslow in a second for James Johnson, who's really old and not even playing, and a first round pick in 2026, unprotected. And they do not agree to that. Let's see if I throw on some more seconds. Well, I only have one more. If they'll agree to that, and they still do not. So I just took out my second round pick and took their first round pick out and swapped it out with 2 seconds they would give me instead. And they still don't agree with that. They'll give me 3 seconds. I'll give them 1. Honestly, I'm okay with that. So we give away Justice Winslow for James Johnson in 3 seconds. So here's what the lineup's gonna look like going through the rest of the year. We're going heavy on Dame, and then my main guys in the starting lineup. Kind of splitting up the minutes around small forward, power forward. Well, not really, with Jeremy Grant getting a lot of minutes. And then yeah, we got Little and Payton back in the lineup. Payton not really getting that many minutes, but just coming on the court to be like a good defensive guy. So yeah, let's sim the rest of the season, and hopefully we can make a good playoff run in this first year. Season is about to be wrapped. We are just over 500 with 1 more game left against the Warriors, and we end up a 500 team exactly. So here's the awards. I'm not going to spend too much time on it because I feel like my videos are pretty long, and I kind of want to try to get them down to like 30 minutes. So you can stop and take a look there at anyone. Here's All-NBA first team, All-NBA second team, and All-NBA third team. So Damian doesn't get on there. And here's All-Defensive first, All-Defensive second. Do we get any rookie guys? And we do not. So yeah, we actually end up as a 7 seed. So we dropped out of the 6 seed from where we were at when I started the rebuild. Here's the player stats on the season. Dame led the way, shooting very efficiently and putting up a good amount of points. And then Simons was right behind him, doing very well as well. Jeremy Grant played well, played efficient. Here's Nurkic, who actually shot 36% from 3. I'm going to assume he did not take a lot of attempts. Actually, he took a decent amount of attempts, so that's pretty impressive for Nurkic. Here's Josh Hart's stats, also shot very well too, while also playing good defense. Shaedon Sharpe, I'm surprised he didn't make it on an all-rookie team. He did actually have a really good year. Here's Trendon Watford, who played pretty solid. Didn't shoot the best from three. Drew Eubanks, also not a good three-point shooter. Nazir Little, huge improvement from his 21-22 season. And then Keon Johnson played a bit for me, and so did Gary Payton, but he did not do a good job. All right, so for the playoffs, I'm actually going to remove like 4 of Gary Payton's minutes and 4 of Drew Eubanks minutes and give those to Nurkic and Damian. I'm also going to take 4 minutes away from Watford and give 2 more to Nazir Little and then 2 more to Jeremy Grant as well. So let's sim this first playoff game against the T-Wolves. They have pretty much the same roster there. And we lose that game, so we have to go one more game against either the Lakers or Mavericks. And it's going to be the Lakers, who should have the same roster, but AD would not be injured like he is in real life. So yeah, Russ isn't coming off the bench either. Let's see if we can win this. And we do win, and we end up in the first round against the Pelicans, who are the 1 seed in the West this year. They have the same team that they do in real life, pretty much. CJ Herb, Ingram, Zion, and Valanciunas. So game 1, we lose. Game 2, we win. Game 3, we win. Game 4, we lose. Game 5, we win. Game 6, we lose. Game 7, we lose. So we lose in 7 in the first round. Honestly, not that surprising. I feel like it's something that could happen in real life. Like, really, it's Dame and Simons. Grant's a pretty good, like, third. Oh my god, Jeremy Grant went crazy in the first round. 60, 60, 70. Well, from the free throw, he didn't shoot well, but 62% from 3, putting up 20 points, 21 a night is crazy. But yeah, we really only have 2 guys who are kind of like efficient all the time, but like it's really pretty much Dame, and then Simons is also kind of there. He can show up on some nights. Ja is your West MVP, Tatum is your East MVP, and the winner of the finals for the 2023 season is the Celtics with Tatum as your finals MVP. So let's see what pick we have in the lottery this year. I'm assuming it's going to be just out of the lottery, actually not in the lottery. So yeah, it looks like it will not be in the lottery. And it ends up at 17, and that is the Bulls pick. If we were in the lottery, our pick would have been lottery protected, but we did not make it in the lottery, so the Bulls do get my pick this year. So I'm just gonna go into the draft. I have a 2nd round pick, and I'm just gonna pick like the best guy that's there. So Amari Bailey fell. He fell in one of my other videos, and I took him though, so I'm not gonna take him or Terrence Shannon because I've also taken him before, and I'm gonna go with Jeb Howard with my 2nd round pick. Here's the draft results, picks 1 to 7, if you just want to take a look to see where some of the guys went. And Jeb Howard comes in as a 73. I'm going to accept him. Team player options. Josh Hart is getting picked up. Watford picked up. Keon Johnson picked up. And Greg Brown picked up, but not John Butler or Abaji. So the most I could offer someone in free agency right now is only like 6.7 mil. Jeremy Grant is a free agent, and he has 4 offers. I have bird rights on him, so I should be able to get him back. He doesn't have any real offers, but these are 4 teams. Maybe I could pick him up for close to a 30 mil deal and then trade him to one of these teams for a stud back and like attach some 1st round picks to him. So I'm actually gonna pick him up on a 4-year deal for 27.5 mil flat, but put a team option on the end of that, so it makes it more of a team friendly contract I could trade. And he should agree to that. He doesn't have any other offers. Like I said, it's just the Heat, Warriors, Hawks, and Suns. And right away, he does agree to it. So we will be getting Jeremy Grant back and probably looking for a trade, even though he went off in the playoffs. Okay, so the Warriors last year were a bottom seed in the West. I can show you just so you know I'm not lying about it. They were a 12 seed, so 2 spots out of the play-in, and they finished 37 and 45. And I feel like doing this trade would be great for both teams. Wiggins gets a change of scenery in Portland, and so does Jeremy Grant. The Warriors are at a spot right now where they still want to compete with Steph and Clay and Draymond on their team, but they also want to acquire young guys to build for the future, so that's where Trendon Watford comes in. In this game, his stats just aren't good. Like, he has bad ratings, so I don't see him panning out for me on this team. And Wiggins, although he's the same overall as Jeremy Grant, actually has much better grades for the position that he's going to play, small forward. He has A perimeter defense and A+, A+ in his inside scoring to 3-point shooting versus Jeremy Grant, who has A- and A, and then he lacks in perimeter defense, or he's like position average. I feel like they would agree to this trade. Let's see if they do it, and they do not. They think he's valuable, so I might have to throw in one more asset. Okay, I'm gonna reverse trade finder for Wiggins to see if I get anything that makes more sense. So here they want Shaedon Sharpe, Josh Hart, and Greg Brown. I do not want to do that. Will you take Jeremy Grant, take out Moses Moody, And can we just make that work? Still no. Okay, so now does my... Can't trade that pick. Does this pick work for you? Still no. I really don't want to throw 2 first-round picks into that Wiggins trade, so I'm just going to look at the trade finder and see if there's anything I like that could make some sense of realism to me. So the Hawks would offer me Clint Capella and Jalen Johnson. I actually feel like that kind of makes sense because they still have a Okongwu here who they need to start progressing. He has 1 year left until he's gonna have to be extended. And then when Okongwu's not starting or playing center, they could have John Collins run the 5 and play some small ball, kind of like the Warriors used to do. So this is the trade that I'm gonna do for Jeremy Grant in this offseason, and they agree to that. I could bring in Derrick Rose. I think I'm gonna do it for a 1 year deal and maybe play him instead of Gary Payton if Gary Payton isn't shooting the ball very well, because although he is a great defender, he just doesn't shoot the ball well in this game, so he agrees to that. And that will be it for this free agency. Let's see what everyone's looking like. So Dame is starting to regress. This will be the last year I give him before I decide to trade him and try to put together a new type of squad with his team. Unfortunately, Gary Payton and Derrick Rose go down, but I feel like Derrick Rose will still be a solid scorer for me. So let's go into the next season and get the lineup ready. So here's what the lineup is for the second season. We got Dame, Simons, Josh Hart, Little sliding into that starting spot. And I'm actually going to start Capella over Nurkic. I don't think he would like that in real life. He has 3 years left on his deal though. So if anything, once his contract goes up in 1 more year, I could look to trade him to a team that needs a center. And yeah, my 6th man is going to be Shaedon Sharpe. I'm hoping he's going to have a progression year here. So I'm making him get 21 a night. Then we have Nurkic, Jalen Johnson, who came in for me, who has not shot the ball well so far according to this game, but hopefully he can shoot better here. Same with Watford. These might be 2 guys I packaged together to just get 1 solid guy there. And then I'm going to put D Rose into my backup point guard position. So let's sim this second year and see if we can make a better run than the last one. We're almost at the end of January, and we have kind of a similar record to what we ended the season with last year, just above 500. If we look at Jalen Johnson, he is shooting the ball terribly, and I'm pretty sure Trenton Watford also from 3 isn't shooting the ball very well, and he doesn't have good defensive stats in this game. So I'm probably going to look to package those 2 with a pick to get 1 solid guy there to play my backup power forward, small forward. So the Jazz are a rebuilding team, and Lauri Markkanen is still here. I'm going to see if they would trade me Lauri Markkanen for my 2 young guys and maybe an extra pick, so they can get off a guy that's kind of getting older and they get more young guys and assets back to build with their future. So I feel like I would have to attach Nurkic in this trade. I kind of want to get Jarrett Vanderbilt back to play some backup center for me if that is the case. I don't think they would agree to this how it is, but let's see if they do. And they do not. So I might have to throw in another 1st round pick, which I'm not the biggest fan of, but I feel like this trade puts us over the top. So let's see if this works. And they agree. So we trade for Lauri Markkanen and Jarrett Vanderbilt. Here is what the lineup is looking like post-trade. We have Lauri there at the starting 4 spot now. And we have Jarrett Vanderbilt coming off the bench to give us some more of a defensive spark. And then Shaedon Sharpe is also having a really good shooting season. So is Nas Little and D Rose. So I feel a lot better about this team with this 9-man rotation. Let's sim to the end and see how it does. This game is so whack, man. We were doing so good until these last, like, what is this, month here? And then they just gave me a bunch of L's. So we're only 3 games above 500. Last game against the Rockets, and we win. So Luka's your MVP, Wemby rookie, Scoot 6-man, Wemby Depoy, Wiseman most improved, and Joe Mazzulla coach of the year. I will be shocked if we have Dame on an All-NBA team. We do not. And we do not have anyone on all defensive teams. And I don't think we had a rookie either. So this year, yeah, we do make a playoff spot. We're the 6th seed. Dame puts up 28, so he really wants this to be a year where we make a run. Simon's still playing really well. Markkanen, since the All-Star, put up more points, pretty much the same rebounds, a little bit more assists. His steals got a lot higher, and then he shot a bit worse than he actually was before, so that's not very good. Here's Hart. Shaedon Sharpe, very efficient season. Clint Capella came in and gave me 2 blocks a night. Nazir Little, kind of a drop down, but still good. Rose had pretty much the same season as he did before. And then here's Vanderbilt. So let's hope that is enough for this 1st round against Denver, who should still have Jokic. Yep, they do. They have pretty much the exact same roster, except Bones Highland is their starting 2 now. So let's see what happens here. Game 1, we win. Game 2, we lose. Game 3, we win. Game 4, we lose. Game 5, we win. Game 6, we win. So we get out of the first round. Now we're going against Memphis, who is a 2 seed, who have 97 John Morant, Desmond Bane, Williams, JJJ, and Xavier Tillman. So we could take advantage of them at the center spot, but they do have a really solid team. Let's see what happens. Game 1, we lose. Game 2, we win. Game 3, we win. Game 4, we win. Game 5, we lose. Game 6, we win. So we are in the conference finals, probably going against OKC, yep, who are the 4 seed. They have 92 Shea, 86 Giddey, 79 Dort, 76 Walker, and 82 Chet. I honestly think we're the better team all around. So let's see what happens here. Game 1, we win. Game 2, we lose. Game 3, we lose. Game 4, we win. Game 5, we lose. Okay, so now this is where I think I'm gonna do something crazy, and I'm gonna take Derrick Rose out of the lineup here, and then give all those minutes to Simons and Dame. So Dame is gonna be at like 41. And Simons is going to be at like 38 a night. I'm actually going to swap out Josh Hart and Shaedon Sharp's minutes. I know this might be crazy, but Josh Hart just isn't shooting the ball very well. So I'm going to get Josh Hart at like 20 and Shaedon Sharp at 29. Let's hope that doesn't just ruin it for me. I actually might give Jared Vanderbilt's playing very well for me. I was going to say I might take away minutes from him and give him to Capella. But let's hope that was enough. Game 6, let's see what happens. We win. And now Game 7, simulate with Simcast, win OKC's house right here. It's really back and forth. We're still back and forth in the third. They're up going into the fourth. Actually, we're up going into the fourth. This is a really close game. If it's close with like a minute left, I'll hop in. And there is a minute left. We are up by 1. We're going to jump in and see what happens. So Poku is at the free throw line right now. I don't think my camera is right now, so I'm just gonna see how he shoots this and then probably fix it after. Puts it up, makes it, so we have a tie game, and he actually has another free throw. Oh my god, what is this camera? Alright, puts it up, makes it. So OKC is up by 1 with a minute and 1 second left. Dame has the ball going up the court. He's trying to dribble around. I think that's Shea, and he's not very successful. He gives it off to Capella. Capella for the drive. Puts up the bucket. We are back up by 1 with 40 seconds left. Or 47 seconds left. Alright, Giddey up the floor. Kind of stops. Waits for a pick from Chet. Wasn't very successful. Passes it to Shea. Shea gets double teamed. They leave Poku open. And he bricks the 3. Markkanen gets the board. Gives it to Shaedon Sharp going up the floor now. Alright, Lillard has it. And it gets fouled actually. And Shea fouls out with 41 points. Why would he foul there? There was 27 seconds left and we're only up by 1. You could have got a stop and called a timeout and then got a good shot up to win the game. So that was a terrible foul by Shea. Alright, Dame first free throw up and it is good. He does not miss those. Second free throw should be good. And it is. So Portland is up by 3 now. And they call a timeout. Oh my god. 2K's engine or AI is just makes no sense sometimes. Alright, so Shea is out of the game because he did a terrible foul to foul out. He fouled intentionally to foul out of the game. Giddey gives it to Holmgren in the post against Capella. That should be. Holmgren is trying to move around. He actually gets by and dunks it. So we are only up by 1. Let's see if we can get the ball in. They get it to Dame and they foul him. So this is probably just going to be fouling back and forth. If something crazy happens, I'll go back into it. Dame missed his second free throw. So OKC could get a 3 here to win the game in Game 7. Waters, I don't know why. Okay, they give it to Chet. He's blocked by Capella. No way he makes that. Yup, he bricks it, and that is game. Portland moves on to the NBA Finals. I still can't believe Shea had 41 points, 7 assists, and 5 steals with 2 blocks. I still cannot believe 2K made him foul out with less than a minute left when they didn't have to intentionally foul. Like, they had a timeout still. Dame puts up 41, 5, and 4 in that closeout game, and Simons puts up 39 and 7. So both of my guards put the team on their back. Alright, NBA Finals going against Philly, who have Harden, Maxey, Harris, Gafford at the 4 now with Embiid at the 5. So really solid team. I think we could expose them at the 4 with Gafford there. This is the 2025 NBA Finals. So 2 years from now, we lose Game 1. We win Game 2. We lose Game 3. We lose Game 4. Game 5. We win. Game 6. We lose. So the 76ers win the 2025 championship and James Harden is your finals MVP. We came so close. So team player options, everyone here is getting accepted. Gary Payton might be using a trade though to upgrade my backup point guard spot. I'm going to give Greg Brown the qualifying offer just because I feel like I could use him in a trade. The only free agent I have is Vanderbilt. I'm going to see if I can get him back on a pretty good contract. So he's 25 right now. I would get him on a 4-year deal back, getting him to make like 20 mil when he's 29, so he should agree to that since he has no other offers, and he does agree to that. I actually just realized Josh Hart is also a free agent and I don't think I have rights on him. Okay, I actually do have rights on Josh Hart, so I'm obviously going to bring him back probably for 2 years, backloaded, or I'll make it bird for so he can get around 12 to 13 million, and both of them agree to that. So I'm just simming past free agency to see if we get Greg Brown back, and we do on the qualifying. So in the offseason, I'm going to try to trade Greg Brown, Gary Payton for Ty Washington, who's a good young guard upcoming. He shoots the ball really well, he's really solid, and 3 second-round picks. Houston right now already has a bunch of young guards. Like they have 1, 2, 3 young point guards and 3 young shooting guards that they could run in their rotation. So I feel like this is a pretty realistic trade, and they do not agree to it. They want to give me 4 seconds and get 1 back. I'm okay with that, and we do that trade. Player progression, Dame is down to an 88, so this is definitely the last season I'm gonna do just because we made it to the finals, before I trade Dame away and try to put together a better team to make a championship run with. So let's see what this roster will be looking like. Actually, that last finals was 2024, not 2025, so this will be the 2024-2025 season. Here's what the lineup's looking like for this 3rd season. I'm actually going to swap out Shaedon Sharpe for Josh Hart in the starting lineup because he's starting to progress pretty nicely. We still have Laurie and Capella getting good minutes there. Josh Hart will be my 6th man with Ty Washington getting a decent amount of minutes because I want to see if he can play well for me, with Vanderbilt getting 15, Nas Little at 13, and then Keon Johnson, who has been low-key progressing for me off the just like as a bench guy, has pretty decent ratings, so I'm going to see what he can do as a backup shooting guard. And yeah, let's see if this team can do something better in this 3rd season. So we have a really good record this season, definitely the best one in this video, 55-26 with 1 game left against the Grizzlies, and we win that, so we go 56-26. Ja MVP, here's your Rookie of the Year, De'Aaron 6th man, always in the Warriors, Giannis, Depoy, Nick Smith Most Improved, and JB Bickerstaff Coach of the Year. Here's All-NBA 1st, All-NBA 2nd, with actually 2 Cavs on there. All-NBA 3rd, here's all defensive teams, 2 Grizzlies and all defensive teams, and then yeah, we won't have any rookies. So yeah, we're actually the 1 seed in the West, so that is a very good sign for things to come for this video. Dame's still leading the way in points, shooting insanely efficiently. Simons also had an insanely efficient season. Shaedon Sharpe played great as my starting small forward. Lauri Markkanen is still doing great for me. I actually made Keon Johnson get all of the backup shooting guard point guard minutes because Ty Washington was just shooting terribly at the trade deadline, so he actually had a great season for me. And yeah, here you can see Ty just shot the ball terribly, so he's not going to be in the lineup. Here's Clint Capella still giving me 2 blocks. Josh Hart had a great season compared to his last one, and Nas Little also had a bounce back season as well. And then here's Vanderbilt, who shot the ball efficiently again, which is pretty surprising because at the trade deadline he was shooting it closer to here, so that is definitely good to see. Game 1 against the Timberwolves, who have D'Lo, Anthony Edwards at 91 now, Wendell Moore 76, and still Cat and Gobert. I feel like we should be fine here. Game 1, we lose. Game 2, we lose. Okay, come on, man. So I took some minutes away from Markkanen because he wasn't shooting well and gave it to Josh Hart. Let's see if that helps. Dude, you cannot, bro, simulate around. Tell me how. You can't even tell me how. Every time I'm the 1 seed, I lose in the 1st round. This game is so broken. When is the 8th seed beating the 1 seed in real life? I don't think it has ever happened. And you're telling me that it happens on a regular basis on 2K?
The 8th seed has only ever upset the 1 seed 3 times since the best of 7 format was introduced. The 1 seed won at least 2 games every time though. And it hasn't happened in 10 years. Man facepalming.
Like, that is so whack, bro. You just ruined the whole vibe of this whole rebuild, getting Dame a championship. You're telling me I'm the 1 seed with Dame, and I'm losing to the T-Wolves in the 1st round. The Rockets win the championship. Chauncey should be off the books. He is, and I'm honestly going to pick up someone else because, like, you just can't be having that, man. Can't be having guys, coaches that are not helping you get past the 1st round of the playoffs. And Doc Rivers accepts it, so I'm going Oh wait, did someone else? Oh, I think someone else was there too, but whatever. I'm fine with Doc Rivers. He's won championships before. Shaden and Ty Ty both will be accepted on their player options. And then all three of these guys will get the qualifying. Okay, Lauri Markkanen wants $41 million. He's an 88 overall though. And he's honestly shooting the ball really well. So I'm going to see if I can give him like 30 mil for 3 years, bird. So he'll end up at 34.8. And then Clint Capella here also wants 31 mil. He's only an 84 overall though. So to make this more realistic, I'm going to give him 24 mil for 2 years. And I'm going to front load it. So he'll be at 22 mil in a year. I'm actually going to do it for 3 years and see if he agrees to that. So going to the end of moratorium, both Lauri and Capella accept those deals. Then Keon Johnson played really well for me. I want to give him a 5-year contract, and I'll give him like 11 mil going up to 14.5 at the end of that, and he agrees. So I'm just going to sim to the end of free agency to get my qualifying guys back, and both of them accept it. Here's what player progression is looking like, and Dame is having a huge fall off since we were at the start of this video. I definitely need to look to trade him at some point this upcoming season in the 2026 year. The Brooklyn Nets would give me Ben Simmons for Dame and Nasir Little. I don't love the idea of that, so I'm gonna try to do this swap out to put Vic in there in a first round pick and see if they agree, and they do agree to that. So we pick up Ben Simmons. I'm gonna do some other trades here to make the roster work more. Actually, I moved the positions around and it looks pretty nice. So we would have Simons, Ty Ty, Shaden Sharp, Keon, Ben Simmons at the 3 with Nas Little backing him up, Markkanen at the 4 with Josh Hart backing him up, and then Capella with Vanderbilt backing him up. So I actually like that. Let me make the lineup. One thing that I don't like is the spacing with Ben Simmons and Clint Capella. So what I might do at the trade deadline is see if I can trade Capella for a stretch 4. But let's just see what the record is looking like when we get there. Okay, so I actually simmed to the end of the season because we were just doing really well. We're 56-25 with 1 game left. I feel like the fact that the system is 7 seconds means we don't need to have spacing with Ben and Capella as much as I think we would in any other system. So let's sim this last game and see if we can have a better record than last season. And we do. So we go 57-25. Here's your awards for the year if you want to stop and take a look at anyone. Giannis on the Knicks now. Here's most improved. Coach of the year goes to Steven Silas. Here's All-NBA first, All-NBA second, All-NBA third, and your all-defensive teams right there. We do not have a rookie, and we actually end up as the 5 seed with that record. Last year we had 1 game worse, 1, and we were a 1 seed though. So that is kind of crazy. The West is just insanely deep this year. Here's your stats on the season. Simons with Dame gone takes over as the main guy. Shaden Sharp improving in that starting 2 spot. Markkanen playing insanely well for the contract I gave him. Ben Simmons playing solid all around. Here's Ty Ty, who had a great comeback season from his last one. Clint Capella still putting up almost 2 blocks a game. Keon Johnson playing solid. Nas Little shooting well. Josh Hart still being a good all-around guy. And Jarrett Vanderbilt 60-50 on his shooting. How many attempts was that? Okay, he only shot 10 and he made 5. So that's still pretty good though that he can do that. And then these guys down here didn't play for me. So game 1 against Memphis, we should still have a pretty solid team. They have the MVP Jaw with Beasley, David Roddy, JJJ, and they picked up Sabonis, so they actually do have a really solid roster. So let's see what happens here. Game 1, we lose. Game 2, we win. Game 3, we lose. Oh, we win. Game 4, we win. And Game 5, we lose. Game 6, we lose. Game 7, we win. So we make it out of the first round. Now we go against Houston here, who has Reese Beecham. Maybe he's related to Kenny. At that number 1 spot, we have Josh Giddey at the 2, Brandon Miller at the 3, Jabari at the 4, and Bam at the 5. So their 1 is kind of weak, but everywhere else down the lineup, they're better than me. So that's not something good to look forward to. Game 1, we do win though. Game 2, we lose. Game 3, we lose. Game 4, we lose. So game 5, we lose. So we get eliminated in the second round. I'm okay with that. I feel like we have a solid roster here to build on. It's Cavs and Rockets, and then we lose to the NBA championship Houston Rockets with Jabari Smith as your finals MVP.
Many unbearable hours later.
We did not even make the play-in. I was 24-25 after I made that trade, and we ended up 34-48, 13th in the West, pretty much tied for the second worst record. I honestly don't think the roster is that bad to where the team should be that bad. Like, I have 289 overalls, a 93, and then an 87, and then role guys around that. But I guess the 2K, these guys just don't work well together. This rebuild was going really well to start off, but it progressively got worse as 2K kept cheesing me. We did make a finals appearance here though, in what ended up being the second year, and we lost in 6 to the 76ers, and we saw Dame on the team. This 24-25 season, we were the 1 seed in the West and we lost to the 8 seed Timberwolves. So 2K just cheesed me. I feel like if I didn't get 2K cheesed out of this, we probably would have won a championship this year. So unfortunately, it is just going to be an L after 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 seasons. This was an unsuccessful rebuild. But yeah, I think things to learn from is if I have a solid team, even if it's not the most realistic trade, I got to try to find a way to make some realism into a trade to improve the team even more. Because I had a really good team in that second year with Dame and even the third year after I brought in Markkanen and Vanderbilt. But I feel like maybe I should have made one more trade to put that team over the top, and then I would have easily won. But that's just things you got to learn from. So yeah, leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed. Comment down below what you thought of the video or any trades or signings I made. I'm still coming off a bit of a sickness, so apologize since my nose is kind of stuffy. But I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.